There you go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to It's Happening Now. I'm Devin here with my compatriots Greg, Scott, and Chris.
What's
Before we
going?
begin bringing you the big stories of the day, we'd really appreciate if you could like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notifications when we're going live. It's Friday, so congrats to everyone for making it through the week.
I almost didn't
However,
make it.
I know, right? However, unfortunately, it was overshadowed by a terrible incident coming out of Moscow tonight. A major terrorist attack happened. Technically, I believe it's Friday night, Saturday morning there. I'm going to bring this up here real quick.
I'll do it.
If you play the video, it's a bit disturbing.
We're not going to, I don't really want to know if we should play the video here. Do you
Play
think we
it.
should?
Yes, play it.
Okay. So, the attack on the Moscow region concert venue leaves 40 dead and 100 injured. By the way, this is still technically ongoing. There were about 3 gunmen, is what was reported, dressed in military fatigues. They basically burst in, started firing, hold themselves up with some others, and I guess used possible explosives as well. We're gonna watch
Wow.
this.
Holy
I said it was a little disturbing.
That'll disturb him.
Yeah,
Quite-
that's crazy. Yeah, I was gonna say, cut that, bro.
Yeah,
But that,
in that.
well, that was.
I didn't know it was that disturbing. Sorry, fellas.
I don't know why you told me to show that video, but it was definitely not good.
I
This
didn't.
is gonna get kicked off the air for that.
So
It-
who
no,
It's.
here thinks that was Ukraine that did that?
I couldn't say. I mean, my opinion. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I didn't know. I didn't get a chance to watch that. I'm sorry for anybody who sees that. I didn't expect it to be that graphic.
No, the poor people huddled in the corner. I mean,
Yeah, that's.
I'll throw
that's
that
it.
out. I'll throw it out that our hearts go out to all those people that were
Yep.
hurt and injured
Yeah,
and lost their
that's-
lives.
Yeah,
Today,
that's,
today, Mother Russia got the poo poo.
Oh,
I mean, this world is starting sick. I mean, who thinks that's going to happen here? I mean, how many terrorists have crossed our southern border?
I'm sure at some point, the closer we get to the election, that we're going to probably see more of that, unfortunately. I think it's going to be a distraction tactic.
I hope not.
I hope not too, but unfortunately, I believe it's going to happen.
Oh no, I get you. I'm just saying, like, hopefully not. That was nuts, dude. Those people, you know, I mean, yes, man. I mean, I'm lost for words, bro. That is that. I mean, I'm not laughing. I'm just like, Jesus, man. That's
I'm one of those people where, like, you get mad at me or I get nervous. I'm a laugher. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I react the same way.
You see me in a funeral, dude, I'm smiling. It's not that I'm happy to be there or I'm happy in the situation. It's just my nervous tick.
Yeah, I get it.
So, from what
I blame
has
Devin
been, what'd you blame me for?
for my nervous tick of smiling.
This is fair. I honestly am kind of terrifying to look at. I get it.
It is, yeah. As to speculate as to who did this, I mean, yeah, Russia and Ukraine have a thing going. So, I mean, obviously, you'd kind of want to go, yeah, it's Ukraine trying to poke the bear, so to speak, or whatever. But
that would be your first guess, yeah.
right. But there too, I don't
who
know that I
knows?
could say maybe the U.S. didn't have something to do with it. Who knows anymore?
I hope the heck not.
I hope
Yeah, because
not.
that was brutal, man.
I hope
That was.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm all for, you know, if stuff's got to get done, it's got to get done. But innocent people should always be left out of it. That was heartless. You know what I mean?
It was incredibly so.
Yeah.
There is some information regarding all of that.
Good.
Though. the Ukrainians came out and said that they didn't do it. The
Well, of
U.S.
course.
came out. And
Well, yeah,
said,
after that video, of course they did.
the U.S. came out and said that they didn't do it. Then the Russians came out and said, "Well, how do you know you didn't do it?"
Right.
And then we have this one here. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up as well. Ukrainian intelligence blamed Putin's special forces for organizing the Crocus City Hall terrorist attack on Friday. All right, so they're saying that the Russians did it all.
Right, because that
Because and this is not something that I haven't seen already. I was watching a couple of things on MSNBC, on NBC, or CNN, stuff like that, because I want to stay informed from everything I can. But basically, what they're saying is that this is in the week that Putin got elected, and that somehow that this was set up in order to crack down more on the Russian people and obtain more of their rights.
So they're saying it's an inside job. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they're saying that it's an inside job, especially on the American outlets. It seems to be that they're saying that it's an inside job.
Or is that just they're projecting what they do?
Well,
yeah, they do that a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like I said, I don't want to point any fingers because this is a developing story. I mean, I hope the truth comes out. If Russia did, I don't even see why they would do that. I don't know. I mean, people point out like Putin to be some kind of monster all the time, and I just don't buy into it. You know, I don't know.
I heard from people in Russia. You know what I mean? I online I have.
I was like, did you? Was it Vladimir?
Friends from Europe. You know what I? Friends from Europe, and Russian people love Putin. I mean,
they
the
do.
Say he's a dictator, but he puts Russia first. I don't know if that's dictatorship. I mean, I don't know if he kills his political opposition. I don't know if he jails his political opposition, but I can say that's what they do in America now. So how can
we do that now here? So.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Look at, I mean, that is beyond. That's old Soviet era style tactics, and I mean, Putin's from old Soviet era style KGB. So I can't say he's a dictator. I can't say he's not a dictator, but I can tell you the Russian people love him.
You know, you could go down any number of rabbit holes on this. I mean, let's say hypothetically it was Putin and he does it to point a finger at Ukraine to ramp up the war, perhaps. Who knows? Or maybe it was just 3 or 4 guys that were just lost their marbles and went in there and just shot up a bunch of people and killed them just randomly.
Dude,
it could be.
They were dressed in military fatigues for one. They had, they looked like they were very coordinated.
Okay.
They had explosives, dude. I mean,
I have
explosives. How do you?
I don't know about. But we can have all of that here in the States.
But that's so. I mean, but over in Russia, it's very much harder to have those weaponry.
Is it? I don't know.
Here. According to sources that I listen to, it's very difficult for them to have weaponry compared to us over here. We have tons. They don't. Right. So this seemed coordinated. This seemed planned.
Well,
if you think about when this happened, yes, it happened during the week of his re-election, but it also happened literally 2 or 3 days after the Russians bombarded Ukraine.
Here's some updates
that is true. Go ahead.
Some set from 707. Well, so right now we have the terror group ISIS has claimed responsibility, but they did not provide proof of the claim. All right. Russian officials said 40 people are dead and more than 100 injured after the attack at the Crocus City Hall, which is a large opera house or concert venue A popular rock band was scheduled to play tonight, and it has a maximum capacity of 9,000 people. They also said that there's a fire that is burning now, and the Moscow Fire Department is trying to
Put it out.
evacuate people from the roof and 100 people from the basement.
Yeah.
So that's as of 7:07, and that's that information is courtesy of NBC News.
Yeah, I heard
Right.
that the roof was actually caving in now. The last thing that I was listening to is that the roof was like partially caved in because of the fire.
Well,
Um,
I'm gonna share something real quick, and which is a let me see which one it is. This is actually video of that roof burning.
it's a terrible thing, man.
That's incredibly loud in my ear. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, your mic just cut out really bad.
Did it?
Oh, there you
You're
go.
back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was really loud. I didn't
Jump back.
It wasn't all that loud, man.
out.
No, it wasn't that loud. It's just you were really low, and then you came back. I jumped back.
But
There he is.
So they have really set fire to that. That looks like a very nice venue.
Oh, it
That-
was.
That
Yeah.
fire started
It
because
was.
of explosives. Just
Right.
That's what they were saying. They're saying they used handheld explosive devices.
So
Right.
I mean, I
It-
guess
it-
ISIS is taking credit for it.
ISIS always takes
You're right.
like like they always claim that they did stuff that sometimes I look at them like, you know, that wasn't y'all. Like,
I was
they
thought
could have
they were on, man.
it could have been, but it is really funny. Like Devin mentioned, Russia just like bombarded Ukraine,
Yeah.
and then this happens.
Like 2
What
days
a
later.
couple? Yeah. I was gonna say it was just a couple days ago. I mean, look, I mean, we're just speculating here again. This is we're giving it's an opinionated
Absolutely.
show.
You know what I'm confused about? We're talking about Russia, correct?
Right.
And so I just want you to why is oh, you can't see it here, but oh, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry. I apologize. I want you to that I really do. If we're talking about Russia, then
Start all over.
why is it the name of the place in English? Wouldn't that
That's-
be in Russian?
You kind of have a point there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't see.
Apparently, from what I heard, man, for one thing, is that the Russian media is incredibly silent about this. At one point, I think it was like what video that from like 38 minutes ago or something like that. Maybe it was an hour ago. They said it was like the Russian media was incredibly silent, so that was weird.
My light just flickered. I don't know why.
Continue.
You're gonna lose power.
I better not.
Tornadoes. No,
You know how hard it was
not
to
be.
get back here on time, dude? I mean, I made it with a like 10-minute period, jumped in the
Yeah.
shower real quick, ran out here, like trying to get stuff done. And then my browser wouldn't work. So I had to re-download
that
Google Chrome.
that's
Oh.
trucking, baby. You
Yeah,
never know.
no, I get it. Yeah, no. Yeah, it definitely was the day.
So
Yeah.
I mean, this is what's going to happen for the next couple of few days. I'm sure you'll see a lot of finger pointing from
Right.
everybody. You know,
Yeah.
America and Ukraine are pointing at Russia. You know, Russia's pointing back at us.
Right?
Yeah.
North Korea's pointing at like Japan or something because they want to get them involved.
I
You know
mean,
what
didn't
That's the way that it works.
Didn't we point a finger at them for blowing up Nord Stream pipeline, and then it came out that it was us?
Well, they had that. Well, that's not verified.
That's not confirmed.
That's not verified. Oh,
That's
my
not
bad, my bad.
verified.
Now let
But
me
there
ask
was-
you this.
There was a lot
There's
of speculation.
Yeah, that it's
Let me
us.
ask you this. All right. Here at the 14-minute and 42-second mark. So this attack is exploding all over our news. Now
Right.
bear with me. I got the backhoe out. We're going down this rabbit hole. On the same exact day, they passed a $1.2 billion omnibus bill in Congress. Trillion.
Was it?
1.2 trillion. Yeah, I wish it was 1.2 billion. That's a drop in the bucket.
It,
1.
it would sound a lot better.
Trillion dollar omnibus bill with tons of earmarks, and all of it is to bring more basically illegals here. They get rid of them. So was this orchestrated to take over the news cycle?
That is true. This does present some weird possibility because really Russia has always been used as like a black flag thing to distract us.
Right.
From probably the big story that's actually happening right now, which is the House passing the bill to avert the shutdown. Do you want me?
I would really like to know what was in that bill.
I didn't
anybody
get a chance to look at it.
I am looking right now. When you see me turned away from the camera, looking to my left, probably your right. I am searching and scouring for information to find out what is in that bill. Give me a few moments, and I will come back to you.
So we don't exactly have the information of what all was in it. By the way, thank you to the Gateway Pundit for these stories. It says here that the House representatives on Friday voted to avert a government shutdown. This was split decision. There were 185 Democrats and 101 Republicans voting for the bill. And the rest of the Republicans voted against this bill, which is $1.2 trillion. Right. A massive spending bill, which congratulations. We are going, we're already sad about the rising inflation and the rising gas prices and food prices and everything else. Get ready because it's coming. There's going to be more.
Right. They're passing that and they're passing that bill. And I would really wish I knew what was in that bill because I know it just got passed. So, Greg might be able to find something on it, but it's your money, people. They're spending it like it's theirs. And
like it's going
ain't nothing worse than giving somebody your money and letting them spend it because they don't care how much the bill is. They pay it's your money and it's not theirs. Right. They were more worried about their paychecks coming in than spending your money on stuff that we don't care about. We care about us over here. We want a better life over here. Yeah. So we got to suffer so they can. I don't know, man.
I'm sorry, they don't call it an Omni. They call this a minibus.
I seen that.
1.2 million is a minibus. It's not very big. It's just to keep the government from shutting down. We can't close your doors. We have to take your money.
Wow. That's what it seems like, anyway.
I got an interesting little story here to add to all this kind of crap right here. If you're worried about the government,
let's do it because I like it.
All right. Let's go ahead and add this right here because I found this off of the Gateway Pundit. Thought this was kind of interesting. If you're worried about the debt, guess what?
Oh man.
Oh, no, that's not what I thought you were going to bring up.
Debt held by the public will be unsustainable by 2050.
I don't like that.
That says that
mere 26
the
years.
GAO expects that the debt held by the public to reach a record 108% of the GDP in 2028. And by 2050, the U.S. debt will be twice its GDP unless spending decreases. Ladies and gentlemen, it says decreases.
Right, but we know the government doesn't ever decrease the money. They just raise it.
I have a question.
We need more of your money that you don't have.
I have a question. What's this word decrease you guys keep talking about? I've never heard of that before.
Look. I
don't know what decrease is. Well,
I understand the word very well. The government doesn't understand that word. They don't want to decrease anything. You look at them. We don't need the ATF, the FBI, the CIA, the DEA. U.S. Marshals. We don't need all these, but they just keep expanding them, making them bigger. Here's more government officials for you to pay for that you don't need for them to, or so they can spy on you, so they can arrest you, so they can do all these other things to you. and then they're just letting in people through our southern border, breaking our laws, and they don't care.
Right. Well, I guarantee that not all that money is just for those employees to keep working. There's all
hell
kinds
to
of
no.
padding in there somewhere.
Hell
I'm sure
to the
they're
no.
spending a bunch in Ukraine. They're probably spending a whole bunch. Who knows where? I mean, it's going in one of their damn banks somewhere, you know, and it'll just
Right.
disappear in the wind. And we'll go, where'd the money go? And they'll go, what money? Money, money, money. You know, oh, by the way, since we're talking money, we need a little bit more. Like, no.
Yeah.
Somebody in some foreign country is going, oh, look at all this money from America. You know,
All right. Ukraine's been doing that for a little
Bingo.
while now.
Everybody.
I mean, that's the funny part. The government comes after you for taxes,
Right.
but they can't account for billions of dollars
Right.
in our country that they just don't know where it's at. And then all the money they sent to Ukraine, there's a whole bunch of that money missing for some reason too. I wonder where it went. I mean, I'm sure somebody's bank account is looking pretty fat right now.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Several
Now,
but
yeah.
this was the story I thought you were going to bring up. That me like you lots. But
Okay.
Me like a long time.
Yep.
But I went in a different
And-
direction.
Yes, I want you to. This is thanks to AP News.
Oh yeah.
Speaker Mike Johnson faces threat of ouster from Republican Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene. That is what I thought you were bringing up.
She be getting shit done.
I mean,
Sorry
look,
about that. I realized what I just said, but she be getting stuff done.
she be working on her beep. So
She does the little.
and she does a little jump down the aisle, but
I can do it with my shoulders, but she does it with her butt. No.
The people's
and
Sure.
the
Amber,
appeal-
you're correct about that. The
Amber,
people's opinion doesn't matter anymore. They've taken away our voice 100%.
Yep, they have.
but I'm tired of these Republicans. Call themselves Republicans. We'll call them rhinos because of the Republican
rhinos.
name only.
I like to call them snakes in the grass. You know
Bill
what I mean? But,
never hit the floor if he wouldn't have allowed it to hit the floor.
right.
So that is what they need to. They need to start taking us seriously, or they're going to find themselves in a real bad spot. And it's making me sick. They spend our money, the 1.2 trillion. They just print it out of nowhere. That's why you have inflation, because they
Right.
just we need money. We'll just print it out of nowhere.
Actually, I'd like to change the way we talk.
Yeah.
We call them. I think anybody that's a Democrat or a rhino would just call them anti-American.
Demon rats.
I like that. I like that. Anti-American. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's about the closest description.
You wanna-
They
yeah.
are.
You want to
Demon
destroy
rats.
this country so bad, you're anti-American. Just period. You no longer represent anybody that's in the United States. All you want to do is represent people outside of the United States, and pretend like you're some sort of saint while you're destroying our lives and our financial futures.
Right.
Our whole country is just going up in fire, bro. It's sad.
Apparently, it's not just our country. Apparently, it's every country.
Well, this is a worldwide effort, which means there is a central group of people orchestrating this. And I would put my finger right on the World Economic Forum.
No.
What?
The hell you say?
The
hell you
I was
say?
looking down. I was like, huh? Did you
I'm-
say?
I'm pointing at you, Klaus Schwab, and all you other.
Are you saying that?
I'm sorry, but it looked like you were pointing at me.
Are you
Looks
saying
like
a
he's
massive
fucking up.
congregation of really rich, powerful people is trying to cause major strife in the world?
That's absurd. How dare
Uh,
you say such a
I
word?
grew up.
They would never.
I grew up looking up to Bill Gates. You know, I mean, the American dream. And now he wants to stick mRNA and everything and plants and everything.
I'm not gonna lie. I never really cared about Bill Gates, but man, I remember my whole life growing up, and Donald Trump was always. I mean, he wasn't there. He was in my house, or was he? No, he might have been. Is he in here? No, but you know, I mean, he was in movies. He was always famous. He was always like I mean, we grew up. Trump was always in the news, stuff like that. Good dude, always doing good things.
I'm
Right.
sneaky. I'm the sneakiest. You can ask anybody; they'll tell you I can sneak.
He was the monster under my bed.
But Bill Gates, with my first computer, everything was DOS. I mean, I literally would get on my computer and I'd have to type in the prompt C colon run a colon forward slash this. It was a green screen. It was literally the worst thing you've ever seen.
It was.
Bill Gates invented this program where I could take a mouse and click a picture. You know what I mean? Well, he didn't.
No, I
Bought it for like $50,000 and stole it from some dude who probably jumped off a cliff somewhere because,
Right.
I mean, but that's the
But yeah,
difference.
you're right. I mean, it took like 2 separate lines of exact coding just to load up one program. It was horrible. It was awful.
horrible.
all right.
Now that right there is why I don't like computers, guys. Now you know. Even though I know
Yeah,
we're way
that'd be
past that,
horrible.
I still don't like them.
I love computers.
Well, you embraced it. I was like, yeah, that's too complicated for me now.
Yes, Wesley. We know he used Unix code from the Linus trouble, but he bought it off of somebody for $50,000. But that is the difference. Well, I don't know if these guys knew that. I knew that, but from college. But he bought it off of a programmer. But that's the difference between a programmer and an entrepreneur. The programmer makes something, and he's like, "Well, what do I do with this? It's pretty cool, but just throw it in my drawer." And then the entrepreneur goes, "Hey, I can sell that, you know, so I'll give you $1,000 for it." And then he creates Microsoft, which took over the world.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's the difference.
And
Right.
now he's a piece of what's this?
Right.
There's an even bigger difference between that, an entrepreneur who actually makes money for its people, you know, in his workforce and everything else, and politicians who just spend our money.
Why
Which, by the way,
Sorry.
I just want to bring up that I can't find the story right now, but I figure since it's on target here, Biden did go ahead and cancel a bunch of student debt relief, so you can, you know, expect even higher, you know, debt.
Why?
He spent more of my money. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
no,
money
yeah.
for you. Now look, now that he did that, when you go,
I
to the-
wish somebody would come and just pay my mortgage payment for me.
Right. Right.
You know,
okay.
Well,
78.
the great
Okay.
thing is these
But-
bills get paid for people that are not. I mean, I don't know if they deserve it or whatever, but I mean, Devin, I don't think they paid your student loans. They didn't pay my wife's
No.
student loans. You know, so I don't know whose student loans are getting
Fly
paid.
like a
are you
bird.
flying away, Greg?
fly
They-
away. Yes, this world has gotten
specifically-
too weird.
They specifically paid off public service workers' student loans.
Right.
So nurses, firefighters, etc. I think it was like 78,000. That was
Are
something
you
like
talking about?
$5.6 billion.
I hear union workers.
Yeah.
I just hear union workers with that right there. What you just said,
Federal
bro. That's
union workers.
well, federal, but
it's all
that's what I'm saying.
government.
Like it's, I
get that, but honestly, I'd
have mixed
rather it
feelings
go.
about it, but
I would-
still.
I would rather the American money go to the Americans than damn Ukraine. You know what I'm saying?
My problem with unions, federal unions, is they're bartering their work with our money. This isn't a
Yeah.
private company. This
They're-
is saying you're making X amount of profits. We think you should pay us more. They're saying, look, you take this much taxes from the American people. We want more of their money. There should never be a federal union,
Right.
ever.
But I would say
That
the
is-
biggest-
Huh?
I would say the biggest problem with this is how this is super close to how communist regimes act. They
We're in a
You
communist
believe-
regime.
I know, but this is very, very close.
What's doing that?
I mean,
don't think
that was Russian. That wasn't.
Okay.
Sure,
You understand what you
Yes,
just about
I
did,
understand
right?
what I just did, but that was Russian. That
Okay.
80s.
That clears everything
when
up.
you see these communist regimes do things, they usually always supply
We're doing
the
this. Leave us
people- they usually supply the people in the public sector with all the money. They always help out the public sector people that they employ, and then everybody else just gets crapped on. Which
Because
is
it goes back to
buying
them.
votes.
It's their unions.
Yeah,
it's
It just goes
solidified
back to
now.
them.
it's
It is. If you ask me, it's what it is. It's them paying themselves, just like they passed this bill for the 1.2 trillion. They passed it because they didn't want to go without a paycheck.
this is
They
all
didn't
right,
care it was your money.
this is
Hey.
this is the exact same thing for us as a private, private company employees. It's like our boss coming up and saying, "Hey, I'm going to take $200 out of your check every week," and you're like, "$200 out of my check every week," and then they're like, "What the heck?" But we submit, and so then we come in 2 months later, and the boss goes, "Hey, I bought you guys all new trucks. You all get your own truck. You own it. You got to maintain it. You got to take care of it." But they're paying with the $200 they took from you. They act like they did something for you, but they took it from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To pretend like they did something good. So he's the boss of federal employees. He's like, "Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take everybody's money, even your money, because you pay taxes, and I'm going to pretend like I paid something off for you." But he's not. It's everybody's money. It's not the government makes no money.
Right.
Every dime the government gets, they take. Companies,
Not me and you.
they sell it, or they sell a service. The government sells no products. They sell no services. They take money from people, and then they pretend like they give you something. Like, look, the government gave you food stamps. You know what I mean? The government gave you nothing. Everybody on your street that wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning and gets up and goes to work bought you or gave you those food stamps.
Yeah.
Right.
Biden,
I had to explain.
crap,
I had to explain that to somebody that's somebody I know. I'm not gonna put her out there like that. But hey, look, I know we went a little over, but I wanted to say this. Look, I messed with my when I bought my first car, or not my first car, my first new car. The salesman comes back out and he was like, "Here's the price," and I was like, "Well, what's this?" And he said, "That's sales tax." I said, "I'm not selling anything. I'm buying something. So why am I paying for that?"
Right.
he was so dumbfounded at first. I was like, "But for real, bro," I was like, "I understand it, but I'm just messing with you. But that really doesn't make any sense. Why? I'm not selling anything. I'm buying something.
Yeah. No,
you pay the sales tax.
Sales tax, right?
Right."
So I think we're probably good to and wrap up the show today, guys.
Wrap it up.
Well, everybody have a great Friday and a great weekend. If you don't join us for this part of the show, we will be having our Saturday show tomorrow, our hour long. We're going to be back in this type of setting. We are going to be doing what exactly? It's
who built them? What are they for?
All pyramids.
Came out of my face.
I was so getting ready to say that.
10 to 11. If you want to watch live, 10 to 11.
Be there or be square. And if you want to learn something, they said be square, because if you're square, you're not around.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'll apologize for that.
I thought that was kind of fun.
That was kind of funny.
Whoever knew that? Be there or be square, because if you're not here, you're not around.
Right.
Yeah, if you're not square, you're not around.
Hit the like
Thanks
button,
for watching.
subscribe, and share.
Yeah.
The like button.
And,
Nuke it.
That's right.
Blow it off of
That's
YouTube.
right. That's right. Share for us. Help us out.
Have a good night. Enjoy
Thanks
your
for
weekend,
watching.
people.
Good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Good night.
Yeah.
God bless America.
I'm not a crook. Or am I? I might be. There you go.
Crook.